part 2 of tonight's conference. Right, we're gonna come in through YouTube and we're gonna record through OBS. All praises to the Most High. I'm gonna pull this down and put it back. I might leave part 1 available, right, for them who want to pop in and watch that so that they got something to watch. Right. So what we're going to do, if it be the Most High's will, we're going to read Proverbs chapter 1. Because it seems to be doing some speaking of instruction through that chapter. So I just wanted to knock the whole chapter down, right? And break it down, right? But first, let me visit with y'all for a moment. I'll go right. I'm gonna go to the pad. I'm gonna go to the last video, and we're gonna see who was speaking in that chat back there. Just in case, because I don't want to leave y'all hanging. I meant to get over there. I was just about to head over there. Before we were cut off. Right? So we head over there. Tap in with the I am there real quick. Internet connection is acting a little slow. Okay. Get up over there. Proverbs 1. If y'all want to get to it, that's what we're going to be reading here in just a moment. Is Proverbs chapter 1. Right. First, okay, it's not giving me the option. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, it didn't make it available. My fault, y'all. Maybe it'll let me see it after we're not live. All right, all right. All right, all right. Let me get some sevens. Can I get a seven in the chat if you can hear me clearly? If you can hear me clearly, let me get a seven in the chat. Anyone? Before I proceed, all praises. I see the sevens. Okay, so you gonna let me see. It's not giving me the option to share my screen with you. Don't want to do that. What is this? Okay, that didn't work. I apologize. Okay, so just go to Proverbs 1, fam. And we're gonna start reading that first verse of Proverbs 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, right? Verse 2, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. 3, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, right? So let's say that again, to receive, right? So to take into your bosom, into your chest, the instruction, right? We said what instruction was, right? The tedious, right? Down to the very detail commands, right? The way to do something, step by step. That's instruction, right? Of what? Of wisdom. And we know what wisdom is. Whenever we see that word, it's talking about the Holy Spirit, and she has 9 fruits. If you don't know what those are, Galatians 5 and 21 through 22 will give you those 9, right? And justice. So, wisdom is the fruit of the Spirit. Justice is when it's time to pay for something, right? So, you know when somebody should be about ready to pay for something, right? And that's everything. You're not going to miss it. And you're going to know when something is being wrong, being done wrong to the Most High, right? Because a lot of people don't know. They have no idea they're doing anything wrong, right? Now, somebody, uh, with the mind of justice, and how he works and what makes him punish people, we're looking at that saying, ooh, my brother, right? And if you should voice that, it's not common, you know? You're going to look strange. You're going to look like they call it a super brew and all of that, right? But really, you're speaking the justice of the Most High, right? You're speaking his justice. It's his justice you're speaking. And what? What does that equal? And judgment. You know his judgment, right? You have an idea, right? So that's the way you move. Your judgment matches that, right? You have specific scriptures where he said he's going to do this for that, or how to handle this if you see that, right? What is that? Instruction, right? Instruction of wisdom and justice and judgment and equity. What is equity? That's how much it's all worth, right? What's in it for you doing all of this? That's the equity, right? 4, to give subtly, right? To give subtlety to the simple, right? That's wisdom too, right? To give subtlety, that's to be subtle, right? And subtle is not all out in the open, right? You're going to have to dig a little bit, right? To find the sublime things. This ain't just being worn on people's sleeves, right? To give subtlety to the simple. So they're simple. They're not going to see this until it's given, right? And that's what this is saying. This is going to do. It's going to give them the subtlety, right? The subtlety to the simple. right? To the young man, knowledge and discretion. To the young man, right? That's what the book of Proverbs is gonna do, huh? For the young man, right? 5, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel, right? That's pretty clear. Really no need to break that down. A wise man will hear. If you're wise, you're going to hear, right? And will increase learning. This is going to be worth something to you, right? There's another man, he's going to hear this. He's going to take nothing from Proverbs chapter 1. Zero, right? Nothing. He's going to take nothing from it. But a wise man, right? He's going to increase. He's going to add on to what he already knows, right? And a man of understanding, right? So if you have a keen understanding, right? If you know what everything is when you see it, right, and you can understand it, he shall what? Shall attain unto wise counsel. So this is wise counsel. This chapter, right? Or this book. This is talking about the book of Proverbs. This is a foreword kind of it, right? This is Solomon's introduction. He's finna take you through Proverbs, right? Which is a wise saying, right? Proverb, the word proverb means a wise saying. Okay. So verse 6, to understand the proverb and the interpretation, right? So he's going to interpret the proverbs, right? The words of the wise and their dark sayings. Why is it dark? Because you can't really see. It's not saying it's dark like witchcraft or something. No, it's dark because, uh, as our chapter says, we see through a glass darkly, right? It's not well lit. You got to have some discernment and be able to see in the dark to to pick this out and understand what it's telling you, right? It's for the wise man, right? It's meat, but he's making it plain. He's whipping it out so that who can hear it? The young man, right? The simple man. That's what it said, right? Subtlety to the simple and to the young man. And even to the wise man, he gonna increase in learning too. Right. 6, to understand the proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Right. You think you know something until you scared of the Most High. And then you like, man, right? This is knowledge right here. That other stuff I was doing when I wasn't scared of the Most High, that was not knowledge. That was getting ready to get me killed forever, right? And land me in the pit. Huh? But now this is knowledge. You will say that. You'll say that to yourself when you fear the Most High. Now this is knowledge right here, right? But fools despise wisdom and instruction, right? Wisdom comes from being wise. Wisdom is a stretch of the word wise, right? Wisdom, kakama waf, and all that she entails with her. She's gentle. She's not rough. She doesn't want to fight. She has nothing to prove through battle, right? That's wisdom, family. Anything else is less than wisdom, right? Love does no ill to his neighbor. So wisdom ain't gonna see no benefit in that ever. It's always a better way to solve things and become one in the mind and have a friend instead of an enemy, right? I don't care who my enemy is. I would have rather them been a friend, you know? I don't care how weirdo they are, whatever. Oh, that's the weird homie. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, I'd rather it be like that than to have this brother plotting on you and how to get you and how to see you suffer, and you know what I mean? Yeah, nobody needs that. Right. Nah, not me. I'd rather him be a friend. And that's for all of us who feel like we could be rowdy and always swinging a sword and blocking swords with our shield and in battle and being brutish and barbaric like, we know that's that militant Hebrew, he's the one we know the most. And he's needed too, I guess, because we're going to have to get out of some stuff and we're going to be praising him at that moment, but when it gets there, but when we get to where, we're thanking the militant brother for the 6 people he just killed so we could keep trucking, you know, is going to be there. Time and chance happens to all men. And that's a scripture too. That's the scripture I'm always trying to refer to, and I can't remember how it's worded, but that's what it says. Uh, to every man, time and chance, time and chance shall be to all men. So, whoever you are, whatever you're into, there's going to be a time where that thing that you're into, it's going to shine, right? So, me, I'd rather be this wise guy right here, this guy who is crazy about wisdom and the Holy Spirit, right? That's who I choose to be. So when my time comes, I'd rather shine in that, right? It's a lot of things to shine in, but when my time comes to shine, let me shine in that. Let me shine in these 9 fruits of the Spirit, right? Love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. Let me shine in those things, right? Let me shine in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, right? It's me in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 going head up, going shoulder to shoulder, right? And taking on the earth. I'm willing to lose until it wins. When it wins, I'll win, right? But other than that, I'm willing to be losing. What is that, right? But fools despise wisdom. So that's going to sound extremely lame to somebody out. One of y'all right now might be listening and just irked, like, man, I can't stand this dude. Right? But all praise to the Most High. I love you if you're listening, right? And maybe you latch on to this one day, or maybe you stay who you are, and I'm willing to accept you however you come, right? I don't got no heaven or hell to put you in, right? I'm here to share the persona, right, that I got from Christ. Feel what I'm saying? So let's just keep on talking, right? But fools now, They despise wisdom and instruction. They don't like to be told what to do or how to do it or none of that. Right? If you catch part one, you're gonna see how we went into what instruction is. Right? So 8, verse 8 says, "My son, hear the instruction of thy father." Right? So uh we going in. We not missing a detail. This ain't no command. Command is do that. 2 words. Do this. Right? Instruction is as many words as it takes, right? For you to understand this thing, right? So hear the instruction of thy father and forsake not the law of thy mother. What law of thy mother? The law that is talking about back in verse 7. The fool that despise wisdom, right? That's the wisdom that he's despising is the mother, right? It's not a coincidence that it's putting those back to back like that, right? The instruction of thy father and forsake not the law of thy mother. So the law of wisdom, which is those 9 fruits, which if we follow that law, it's peace, fam. It's total peace and tranquility, right? But freeze 1 minute, y'all take a break. I'm gonna go put some gas in my generator. I will be right back. Y'all take a break real quick, and I'll be right back. Right? All right, all right. We are back. Water right here. Praise the Most High for the wetting of thine throat. Ooh, okay. So we're at chapter 1 of Proverbs. We're at verse 8. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Right? What is that law? That's the law of love and peace, y'all. Pleasantness, right? The opposite of everything chaos is, right? Imagine, uh, imagine if everybody, instead of flying off the handle and tearing up furniture, they looked to speak and find a resolve in that, right? Find a resolve in trying to talk things out, right? Because sometimes you're wrong. You think you know, but you don't really know. You don't know how somebody feels. You don't have all the facts. You don't know what's going on, right? A brother bumps into you in public, bang, right? Now, the brutish thing to do or the unwise thing to do is just to turn around, hey, brother, and disrespect him, right? Off top, we got to get down, right? Now, wisdom is, hey, brother, you just bumped into me, right? And say he has a little level of wisdom. What's he going to say, right? Oh, my bad. I'm just going through this. I didn't even see you right there, my brother, right? That's how he may come if you don't disrespect him, you know? And maybe he just organically made a mistake and bumped into you. But you ain't gonna know that if you turn around, hey brother, this blah blah blah, right? Fool, you know what I'm saying? If you could he ain't got no time to worry about I made a mistake. He's not gonna respond that way to that type of attitude, right? Soft answer turn away wrath, ain't it? So now he's gonna come raw because you came raw. He might just say, well, what you gonna do? You talking like that? What you want to do, right? That's two brutish men. It's gonna be some bloodshed. It's gonna be some stains on the ground out there, ain't it? When it could have worked a whole nother way. Hey brother, you just like bumped all into me, man. What's up? You know, that's wisdom. That's wisdom. Oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah. Okay, it's all good. You know, it's all good. And if you got that heart of charity, it's like you might be able to help the brother. It started out with him bumping into you, and that could have went any kind of way, but no, you ended up looking out for him. That's wisdom, fam. Wouldn't you call that wisdom if you could watch that and see that happen? Both of those men, you would respect them if they go to talk wisdom to you, wouldn't you? These are two men qualified to talk wisdom anytime. You might want to get their number and call them, huh? When you going through something, hey brother, I'm going through this and I'm going through that, right? And I seen you have every reason to take a brother head off in public, and y'all talked that thing out. And y'all found, you know, a middle ground to step on. These are men to be counted wise. Right? Yeah. What is that? The instruction of thy father, right? And the law of thy mother. That's what this book has been talking about the whole time. The whole time. Right? Verse 9. For they shall be an ornament of grace. That's what they will be. That's why I said you should just get their number. Because they put themselves up as ornaments of grace. Ornaments of grace. What grace? The grace when you didn't just automatically just rip the brother head off for bumping into you. Right? Wow. You see? That's the ornament of grace. You're going to call him later. You're going to respect his wisdom, right? For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head. Right? Things to live by. You saw that. You knew you needed that in your life. You knew you needed another conversation with that, right? One day, right? And chains about thy neck to live by. A yoke. That's what go on your neck. A yoke goes on your neck. You don't forget that. Some people put a chain on their neck, put a charm on, you know, they got a picture of their grandmother in it or something, you know, to always remember is what that means, right? You want to live by this. 10, my son, if sinners entice thee, we're getting into it, back to that consent. Don't forget to go back and get part 1 if you wasn't over there with us, right? My son, if sinners entice thee. So a sinner is going to have something, it's going to look real good to you, right? Consent thou not. Don't consent. Don't you dare consent, right? To consent is to give your head nod. You better not give your head nod at that. You better not agree, right? Why? 11, if they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, right? Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let's go rob somebody, right? 12, let us swallow them up alive as the grave, right? The whole as those that go down into the pit. Swallow them up. That's how your mouth is open, like a grave. That's how your hands is open, right? That's how your bag. That's how your bag is open. You know, the bag that you're stuffing all the goodies in, right? That's what this is comparing this to. You swallowing them up, right? You taking everything that they are, right? Taking them alive as the grave and whole. You taking them whole, right? As those that go down into the pit, they whole body then went down into whatever you collecting them in. See that? 13, we shall find all precious substance, right? We shall fill our houses with spoil. Talking about robbing, right? 14, cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse, right? So bring everything you got. Don't be trying to run off with nothing. We gonna throw it all in, right? We're gonna throw it all in the pot. Bring everything you got up out of there. I bring what I got. You know, uh, you got five criminals pulling out everything they got on this table in the middle of all of them, right? Trying to see what the take is. See what I'm saying? 15, my son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. 16, for their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. You know, this is a specific situation that this is talking about, right? 17, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. Who's the bird? The person you robbing. What is the net? That's the trap that you set, right? That's you know, the plans of your robbery, right? That's the net you spread now. That's the net you spread now. And what does it say? Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. Yeah, you see them, you see something you could take from them, but you spreading your net, you spreading it in vain, right? 18, and they lay wait for their own blood. That's why your blood is going to be caught up in that trap, right? They lurk privily for their own lives, not the bird's life or the victim that you're trying to rob. Now, your life is caught up in that. 19, so are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain. Don't be greedy. These are instructions, right? He's going into detail. He's going into detail, right? Specific instructions. Don't do this. And a lot of y'all did this. A lot of people did this to me, right? And when they paired with a certain person, right? They didn't care if I was guilty or not. They just knew who said I did something, right? And that's similar to this, right? To team up, you know. 19, so are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof, right? To take away, to steal, to thieve, right? Unjustly to the innocent, without cause. Words like this, you know, the people that we rob in this world, they was minding a business, man. And what they had, they worked for, right? So these are, you know, uh, the net spread of the wicked, you know, to take something away from them or harm them in any way. That often ends, you know, uh with a casualty, you know. 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. Wisdom, those nine fruits, crieth without. She cries without. She don't cry with, right? So that means she's naked. She don't have anything. She cries without. She cries without what? Name it. Name it. Whatever you would say. Whatever you think she needs, yes, she needs that. She doesn't have it. Right? Wisdom cries not with, but without. Right? Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20 is where we are currently. Right? Wisdom crieth without. What does she do? She uttereth her voice in the street. She done left her house, right? She done left from outside of her walls. So that means everybody she knew, everybody she could have got on the phone and called, didn't help her, right? Everybody who possibly would knock on her door that she knows that visits her, she didn't gave up on all of that. She's out in the streets now. She's crying to strangers, right? Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets, fam, right? She crieth in the chief place of concourse, right? In the chief place. So she's crying in places where she should be able to receive something, and she's not, right? In the openings of the gates, in the city, she uttereth her words. In the city, she's everywhere, right? Chief place of concourse, y'all. That's the people with power, right? That's the government. No love there. She turns off. Who else is a chief, y'all? Police, chief of police, can't help her. Chief Ock, right? Your elder, no love. No answer there. Your pastor, he's a chief. That's the top, right? In the chief place of concourse, where you should be able to get help. She's crying there. And what's happening in the openings of the gates? She on their doorsteps crying. Nothing there. Turns away, right? And now she's back in the city. What is she doing? Uttering her words. What is she saying? Things of those 9 fruits. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody, y'all. Why? Because the game is over. When you get on this love and you get on 1 Corinthians chapter 13, all the games are over. It's time to be sincere. It's time to wipe the foolishness off your face. It's time to be a sincere hearted person. Games is over. It's time to be grown, right? And so many people want to still be kids. They still want to play games. It's still things in that for them. They're having fun. They're having fun doing that, right? And this is all of these churches you're going to go into. They're playing games. They're playing games, family. They ain't ready to be sincere. They looking at you and they can speak words and fix whatever you're going through, but they don't do that, huh? I don't care what church you're at. I don't care where you are, who you're listening to. They have a game to play. They're not going to be sincere with you. You can make them play a game. You can corner them. Easy. You can go in there and you can speak the words that'll bring you to the conclusion this brother playing games. I don't care who the pastor, reverend, such and such, elder, deacon, blah, blah, right? They're not sincere. They're going to play games. Oh my goodness. It's coming in 22. But that's her crying in the chief place of concourse, right? In the openings of the gates, in the city she uttereth her words, in the city, right? What is she saying? It's going to tell us, right? Tell me this don't line up with what I was just saying right now. It's going to tell us what she's saying, right? In the city she uttereth her words, saying, 22, how long, ye simple ones? How long? Right? How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? Simple is stupid, right? Yes. How long, you simple ones, will you love that simplicity that you want? You ain't tired of that yet. You ain't seen that ain't showed that lifestyle ain't showed you nothing yet. You done been in this Bible for how many years? And you still sitting there swole up, right? Puffed up. You don't get tired of that, right? What is she trying to break them down to? What is she trying to break them into, y'all? First Corinthians chapter 13. You see it? And the scorners, she don't want them to be scorners no more. That's why she's crying in the streets. Because she is them 9 fruits. Y'all see this? Y'all see what this ties together? What y'all thought this was talking about all of this time? She's trying to prime them up for First Corinthians chapter 13. She's trying to get them ready for them 9 fruits. Y'all, how long, ye simple ones? Right? What's simple? Childish things. That verse. I put away childish things. That's what she's telling them to do right here, is to put away them childish things. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? What simplicity? Everything outside, right? Of those 3, what is it? Faith, hope, charity. And the greatest of these are charity. That's what, right? My fault, fam. We back live. We was able to retrieve it. All praises to the Most High. Right? I found where I'm able to do this by window. Pow, there we go. Glory to the Most High. 22, long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity. And the scorners delight in their scorners. The feeling hurters delight in hurting people's feelings, right? And fools hate knowledge, right? Uh, we're into all of the junk we into because we don't know no better. So if a fool hates knowledge, that means they hate to know. They hate knowing better. They don't want to know. They don't want to know better, right? Who she's crying out at and uttering her voice in the streets, right? In the city, she uttereth her words, right? She trying to get them on this First Corinthians chapter 13, right? And nobody wants to listen to that. All your problems are over. If the whole world at the same time latched on to First Corinthians chapter 13, there would be no poor people. Okay. everybody will have the same thing. It's enough in this earth for everybody to have everything. But see, the problem is you get one person and they have what was supposed to been spread out between the rest of the earth. But no, you have one man, right? And he has in his bank account the lives of many other families. And that's what the Most High is looking at, right? That's what he's looking at. He's looking at who's going to share. I put enough down there for everybody. Now let's see who's going to jump in there and scoop it all and hoard it. Let's see who's going to do that. And let's see who's going to share. Right? 23, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. That's a threat, family, right? Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words to you. So you don't listen. You don't turn at his reproof. He pours his spirit out on you, right? He's going to make you understand what he's talking about, what his wishes are, what his commands are, and that you're sinning and that you're breaking his laws, right? Which his whole law is two things: love him, love your neighbor, as you already love yourself. He's not telling you to love yourself. We don't have no problem loving ourselves, right? We know how to love ourselves. We know how to appreciate ourselves. We know how to serve ourselves. We know when we got to run to the bathroom, right, and relieve ourselves, right? We know when we're hungry, right? We know when we're dealing with some type of lust and all of that, you know? You don't have to tell us to love ourselves. We already love ourselves, and the two rules are love the Most High and love the person sitting next to you the way you love yourself. So imagine the whole earth at the same time jumps on 1 Corinthians 13 and get on this charity. They're going to look at the ghetto, they're going to say, man, them the children of the Most High over there. They're the children of Israel, right? And Genesis 12:3, right? Those who bless you will be blessed, and those who curse you will be cursed. They're cursed right now. They can't afford to die right now. They're in trouble if they die right now, right? Because they wasn't blessing us. So if this whole earth right now, right? You think it sound lame when I'm glued to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, but do you realize if the whole world jumped on that chapter at the same time, there is no problem in the earth anymore. This at that very moment, earth becomes heaven. Oh, let's go run and heal all of these people who are broken at that very second, right? All of these rich people with billions and trillions of dollars, that's being spread out, right? Don't worry about your bills. Don't worry about this and that. They're just going to go throughout the earth and just restore everybody. There's not going to be no poor people. There's not going to be no hungry people. There's not going to be any disease. There's not going to be any sick people. If this whole world right now jumped on 1 Corinthians chapter 13, right? I created this disease. Let me come clean on that. Hey, y'all, that's my fault. I created this in the lab with test tubes, right? Pouring potions from this tube to that tube, right? I cooked this up in the lab with my white coat on, and I got the cure. It's right here, right? The cure for this and the cure for that, right? All you got to do is stop doing this, that, blah, blah, right? They're going to come clean. Hey, y'all, corn is not of the Most High, right? The corn y'all eating, right? I filled this up with starch, right? And carbohydrates, right? The potato is in on it too. Carrots is in on it, y'all, right? Stop eating that stuff. This is the original we got it from. That stuff is hybrided, y'all. It came from something, right? The potatoes, we got things like jicama, right? Same thing as a potato. It don't do what potatoes do to you, right? Carrots come from some carrot is mingled with something, some other root, right? All of it, y'all. They're gonna retract all of that back because they have a charitable heart now, and they want to fix what they did wrong. Not only do they want to fix what they did wrong, but they want to fix anything just because it's wrong, right? Remember what I said? Charity is just looking for an open hole in the earth so that you could boom, you can feel it, and you have a, a, a bottomless clip, right, of what it takes to fill all of these holes in the earth, right? And what if that's just a hey, sir, how you doing, right? What if that's just, you know, reaching over and picking up something for somebody? What if that's just opening up a door, right? Boom, you feel that void, right? Somebody had their hands full, they needed the door open. Bang, right? You did it, right? Let alone the lady and with her two kids on the curb, right, with a sign, we're hungry, right? And you pull up with a bag of food, right? You guys all right? You know what I'm saying? Ah, we hungry, you know? Well, what you need, you know? Oh, we would just, we got a hotel around the corner. We would just, looking for, something. Don't trip. Stay right there. I'll be right back. Come back with a bag. Boom. That's a whole dinner right there. Go home. Take that to your room that you got and cook that. Right? Just filling holes. Go over here. Somebody down about that. But you have the bright news and everything that they're going to need to come out of that slump. Right? Remember, we have the trillionaires on this. Oh, they're going to do what Christ said do. Give it to the poor. Give that to the poor. Sell all your goods and give it to the poor and then follow me. So that it ain't over when you do that. That's just getting you started and then come find me. And then I got more what? Instruction. And we about instruction, right? The specific details of the command, right? The command is just wash the dishes, right? The instruction is use this color soap, right? Use this sink, wash The bowls first. Con, that's instruction. Right? So now we got these trillionaires on this instruction. Right? Oh, they're coming and looking how they can restore the poor. You see that? All praises to the Most High. Right? Turn you at my reproof. This is what will happen if they don't do it. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Right? Like you're going to find out. That's what that means. Do what I say, or you getting ready to find out. 24, because I have called and ye refused. Right? So, here come the Most High behind his wife. You wouldn't listen to her crying in the streets, right? Now here come the Most High, and he's aggressive. He's a man, right? It ain't his delicate wife talking no more. He's a man. 24, because I have called and ye refuse. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. He's stretching his hand out. Every time I'm pushing 1 Corinthians chapter 13, they're saying this dude is lame. Right? That's him stretching his hand out. They're not refusing me. You're not refusing me. You're refusing him. Right? Because we live in problematic. And it's because we lack love. Right? We lack love and we lack joy. We're not happy. Right? We lack peace. We always want to go to war. Right? Love, joy, peace, long suffering. We ready to fly off the handle fast, right? Short fuse is what you call that, right? Long suffering, gentleness. We rough, right? Meekness, we're not meek, we're prideful, right? Faith, we lack faith. Faith is our level of belief in the Father. If we had enough faith, we wouldn't be breaking none of it. We wouldn't have a problem with none of this stuff, right? Goodness. Goodness is another one, right? We willing to do that bad thing. We don't care if something's good. That's not why we latch on to think, oh, this is good. Nah. What benefits? That's what we own. What's entertaining? Where can I go have fun? Right? We don't want to sit there and squirm in that chair and get that lesson. Oh, my back hurt. Everything is wrong, right? Oh, I'm tired. Oh, my neck hurt, right? Anything than to sit in that chair. Man, let me get out of this chair and let me go, you know what I'm saying? That's how we treat wisdom when it's being spoken, right? We don't got no time for the meekness. We don't got no time for temperance. We ready to act a fool when we ready to act a fool. Trying to control no temper. Those are those 9 fruits. These are all of the things that this is talking about that we're refusing, y'all. Do you see this? Because I have called. And ain't that what the Father, he's constantly telling us too? Same thing. Love me. Love your neighbor, right? Rebuke thy brother, right? But don't hate him, right? Suffer not sin upon him. All of this kind of stuff, right? That's you not saying nothing about what he's doing wrong. He's doing wrong, and you just shaking your head and putting your head in your hands, but you ain't saying, hey, brother, stop, right? That's suffering sin upon him. Con? That's us refuse all of that. It's them fruits, y'all. It's them 9 fruits. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. His hand is stretched out, and it's just stretched out. Nobody is grabbing. I stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. 25. But ye have set at naught my counsel. You have set his counsel at nothing. You got all problems. And all he's doing in these scriptures is telling you how to fix your problems. It's not about what he's telling you to fix. It's about fixing you. Because you're going to just break down. That's what happened in the beginning. We stopped caring about all of this stuff. And now we got all of these problems and we want our problems fixed, but we don't want to fix where we went wrong in the beginning with this stuff. This stuff is small. He don't care about this stuff, but he's not going to break down because he's not the one that went against this. We did, right? Right? And that's all we need to do is get this charity at once. Get this charity, the rich people are going to feed the poor people, and the poor people, all of their problems are going to be answered. When the children of Israel fell off of this law, that's when this got messed up. And it's about time for them to probably cut me off right now. Con, because this is that stuff right here that it'll change the world if they listen, right? He stretched out his hand, no man regarded, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. Right? You wouldn't listen to none of his reproof. He's telling you what he's telling you, because when you correct it, he's gonna fix all your problems, all of them. You ain't gonna have nothing to worry about. Now, when one person fixes it, he's vaguely, ready to just drive them crazy with blessings, right? He's gonna hold that back a little. And he did me like that for many years, right? But when it was vital and when it was time, he pulled me into that sapphire, right? He pulled me into that electric blue and like, listen, this is what I want in the earth. This is what I want talked about. I would not be talking about this right now if he didn't do what he did, y'all. It's by him and him putting a cheat code in the earth that we're even talking about this right now. And that I'm even connecting what I'm connecting right now, having all of this stuff attached to the fruit of the Spirit, Galatians 5 and 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Right? Yes, yes, yes. Right? 26. I also will laugh at your calamity. So he laughing. That's why your prayers are not getting answered. Because you're falling on your knees in the dark and in silence and by yourself. Oh, Father, please, I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I will mock when your fear comes. So when you say, oh, Father, I don't know what I'm doing, he looking down saying, oh, Father, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Right? He's laughing and he's mocking you. Why? Because he's saying, yeah, well, fix your heart then. Stop being mean to people, right? Take what you got that I blessed you with and fill those holes. It's holes all in the earth. And you may not have what you want, but you have what those holes need. Start filling them holes, and I start filling your hole. I start filling the holes that you have, right? All the things that you looking for in your life that you don't have and that you crying about and that's making you feel all unblessed, right? I'll fix that. But do what you can. Do what y'all can. Y'all got a good word. You got that, right? You go out in public and people hit you with that eye contact and then boom, they smile, right? What are you doing when that happens to you? That's a friend, right? Give that person a little bit of conversation and try to lift them up. right? And what if they don't give you that? Maybe they're broken, and maybe you have the words to fix them, right? Or maybe you have the $10 to fix them, right? Maybe you have the bodily strength to fix them, right? Some people struggle. I spent time sick. I know how that felt. I know how it felt to be weak and to look around and have the thought that, man, I wish one of these able-bodied people would just come and slap this together for me in half a second real quick, the way I'm too weak to do right now, right? Back when times was tough for me, you know. I'm running circles around the gym now, but man, I spent some time weak, y'all, and real messed up. And I know how that felt to look around in public and say, man, I wish somebody would help me with this, right? I wish somebody would take this for me, right? I wish somebody would open this door for me. Con? Yeah, children of Israel, this world is calling you for things like that. You looking at all of this big old stuff that your hands are too weak to do. The Father don't expect that stuff from you. Guess what he expects? The things that you do easily, right? But nah, we don't want to do that. So we're crying and we're praying every night. We praying with all our might, right? We holding our face all tight. Oh, please, Father. Oh, he don't care how tight you hold your face. Get on this charity, right? We mashing our palms together hard as we can in that prayer. Oh, please, fuck. Nah, he's like, man, why you doing all that? Right? Just break down. He wants your heart. He want a contrite heart. He want a contrite heart. That's the sacrifice now. That's what he wants you to give up. Right? All praises to the Most High. Is it becoming clear to somebody out there? That's what he wants. I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear come. 27, when your fear come as a desolation, right? So your fear is going to come and the desolation is nobody's there to help. Nobody. That's what desolation is, right? That tumbleweed blowing across the street, a ghost town, nobody, right? And your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. So woo, 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 like a tornado spinning on you is how your destruction is going to come. You know, ain't no stopping no tornado, right? When distress and anguish come upon you. So distress is, and anguish is, it got me, right? Distress is, it's about to get me. Anguish is after it done got you and you chewed up, right? You looking at your wounds, you looking at your blood spill, right? In the anguish, you only get like a few seconds of that, right? And then it's time to see what's after this, right? That's your anguish. Oh, the pain, right? Man, that's after the damage is done. Anguish. Oh my goodness, right? 28. Then shall they call upon me. Then you're going to get it. Then you're going to get it. Oh, if you could come out of that, you'll open every door then, right? Oh, you'll fill all the holes. What can I do? Because man, that thing that I got saved out of, right? A lot of people will get this. And even then, it's still a portion of people that would say, sucker, got up out of that, right? Now let's get back on my folly, right? There's still a portion of people that would do that. But, that will make some people hear the Most High. That anguish, right? It's going to clean your heart up. And that's why he does it. 28, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. That's why that's why your prayers ain't being answered, right? But I will not answer. They shall seek me early. You know, he said, seek him early and you shall find him. But in this situation, after you done did this, and he was stretching out his hand and you wouldn't listen, and he turned his back, and now you know you're in trouble because he didn't brought all this on you. He wanted you to seek him before he brought all this on you, right? Don't cry now that he done brought it all on you. Right? They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Right? 29. For that they hated knowledge. Remember when you hated knowledge up there? What verse was that? Right? Where fools hate knowledge. Right here, 22. That was verse 22. Remember when you hated knowledge up there in verse 22? Right? For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is what? The beginning of wisdom. That's the beginning of you getting the fruits. The fruits is final, right? You done used every tool in the barn before you got some fruit, right? You didn't use every tool in the barn to get the fruit. The fruit of the spirit is the end of it, right? That's the juicy bite. But man, you got seeds to plant. You got a whole season of sun to work in, sweating. You're gonna sweat. You're gonna sweat up a whole lot of rags every day, right? Let's look at the rags you sweated out at the end of the month, right? How much laundry did you have to? How much clothes did you mess up, right? How much mud did you wash out of your boots by the time it's time to eat that fruit, right? So do you understand what you're bunny hopping when you go straight to First Corinthians chapter 13, you start showing that fruit of the spirit, right? Love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, meekness, faith, temperance. When you start showing them 9, right? Oh, that's the fruit of the spirit. That's the juicy bite. That's not the climbing the tree with a saw part. Okay, it's not that part. Okay, that's not when you're looking at this giant field of trees and bushes and you got to water that. This is not that. This is not the watering. This is not, you're looking at a field of flat ground, freshly tilled, and you got to put seeds in that floor. This ain't that. Right? This is the juicy bite, right? Oh, and it run down your chin, right? And you got to jump back and so it don't hit your outfit, right? I be tearing some fruit up, y'all. Right? If you watch that video, that's what I'll be on. I'll be on that fruit, right? So that's how I can talk about this like this. I know what that means, right? And did not choose the fear, did not choose the beginning of wisdom, right? You didn't even choose the beginning of wisdom. Not the end where you bite the fruit, but you wouldn't say, all right, man, dang, let me get that spade, you know, pass me that shovel out. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all how to do this. Let me show you how to put your back into this, huh? Some elbow grease, huh? And start digging in there and getting them seeds planted so that one day you can taste the fruit of the spirit, right? Love is an apple, joy is a peach, right? Peace is a plum. Feel what I'm saying? But 30, they would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. 31, therefore shall they eat the fruit. It's not a coincidence that he's saying you're going to eat the fruit of what? You didn't want the fruit of the spirit, but he's going to, so as a result, he's giving you another kind of a fruit. You're going to see the end of that. You see? 31, therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way. So he's going to show you your error, and he's going to show you the end of what comes with that, right? When you was cruising for hell and you wouldn't listen and you wouldn't let nobody break your path to hell, okay, go to hell then, he's going to say, right? That's what that means. Therefore shall they eat, right? Yikes. Yikes. I did not know this was coming. I didn't know. I never connected this like this before. Therefore, they shall eat the fruit of their own way. What is that? And be filled with their own devices. The things that you was choosing, okay, have those things, right? 32, for the turning away of the simple shall do what? Shall slay them. It's going to kill you. Your way was death. What you was running after, it ended badly. And that's why the Holy Spirit was crying out for you up here, right? Wisdom cried for foul. She uttereth her voice in the streets. That's what she was saying. She was saying, man, come away from this, right? Don't eat this fruit of death. Eat the fruit of me. Eat the fruit of the Spirit. What is she? What are those 9? Right? So do you see the importance of first, man? Every chapter, every time we read a whole chapter, don't it do this to us? Who's been following with us? Who's been reading this book with us? Every time we pull out the whole chapter, do you see this, family? Every chapter we read, do you see this? For turning away of the turning away of the simple shall slay them. It's the way of death, y'all. And that's why it's calling you nothing in First Corinthians chapter 13. I don't care how well you can flip these precepts. That's what he's saying, right? I don't care how well you know the prophecies. You're still nothing. I don't care how much faith you have. You can move mountains. I don't care. I don't care that you gave all your stuff away, right? I don't care that you gave your stuff away with a motive, right? Oh, let me give them this. Let me show them how I can give them this, right? And then they're going to look at me like that. And then I have all of this other stuff that I want to do, right? You didn't do that for the sake of charity. You did that for the sake of all of the other stuff you want to do, right? No, it's got to be for charity. Charity has to be the end of the line why you do it, or else how does that verse end? It says it will profit you nothing. Just in case you're looking at that uh verse saying, well, if I gave all my goods, right, to feed the poor, then how am I lacking charity? Why is this even telling me that if I gave all my goods to the poor? Because you did it with the wrong motive. You did it with the wrong heart. That's how, right? You did it to be seen of men, or you did it with some other motive, some ulterior motive, right? Is why you done that. But for the turning away of the simple shall slay them. When you turned away from wisdom, and when you turn away from wisdom, you're turning away from them 9 fruits. And the prosperity of fools. So the reasons that you did everything you did, it worked out. You got the prosperity. But guess what? The prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Verse 32 says, right? Last verse, 33. But whoso hearkeneth unto me, shall dwell safely. You're going to be safe. Ask me how I know. Because I've been there. I seen it. I stepped in there. I looked around. I said, this is it. With my mind just as clear as it is right now as I speak to you, I looked around. I said, wow, this is it. And I thought about everybody in the earth. I said, this is what they working for. This is what they trying to see. This is what we was doing. Everything we was doing is to get here. Right? What's the last comma? And shall be quieted from fear of evil. That's the sapphire, fam. Up under the Most High's feet, the realm directly beneath his. Right. So we've come there, fam. 9:45. We're there again. The golden chapter. Let's get it. Right. On our way out, I pray y'all are blessed. Right? I love y'all, whoever you are, wherever you're at. Right? Let's turn as many as we can onto this chapter right here. This chapter right here will heal the world. You understand me? It will heal the world. You, me, and everybody we can get to latch their soul onto this here. If we turn the whole world on, we're not gonna. We're only gonna turn a few. But I'm just saying, if we turned the whole world with this, you're in heaven. Nobody's poor. Nobody's hungry. Nobody's sad, right? It's the perfect world, right? Yes. It's Adam and Eve before they bit the fruit, right? Yes, yes, yes. So can you see it? Can you see it on the screen? Kamai cross is First Corinthians chapter 13. Though I speak with the tongues of men and angels, I know how to speak 10 languages. Good for you. What you saying in them 10 languages, right? And have not charity. Yeah, you can speak them, but if you have not charity, I am become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. Right? That's a roast. It just roasted the person. Oh, I know how to, right? Whoa, but you don't got no charity, huh? Right? And though I have the gift of prophecy, who's number two? Coming in second place is the person that's cold with the precepts, right? The militant brother, right? That can break Esau down, right? Make him slide down into a manhole with the scriptures, right? And though I have the gift of prophecy, oh, he flipping the precepts back and forth. Everybody head is spinning, right? And understand all mysteries. That's what he's going into while he's in those prophecies, right? While he's flipping them precepts. Oh, go ahead and add that he's bringing out mysteries, right? You didn't even see this. You missed this when you read this, right? And all knowledge, because he knows everything. There isn't a fact that he doesn't know. And you just like, wow, right? And though I have all faith, oh, he got the faith. You done seen him say, move from here to there in a mountain. A mountain got up and walked somewhere else and sat down where he's pointed at, right? He had enough faith to do that. But guess what? And have not charity, I'm nothing. He's nothing. You're going to see him come face to face with the Most High in the judgment. And the Most High is going to be like, I never knew you. Who are you? Right? Christ is going to say, depart from me, ye that work iniquity, right? Matthew 7 and all of that, right? I think around verse 23. Or you could try Matthew, the whole chapter, Matthew chapter 25, right? And that's all this book is about. Every part of it. Read Matthew chapter 25. That's what's going to happen when Christ judges us. That's what Matthew 25 is. Matthew 25 is what Christ is going to crack the sky and say to us. And what was his problem, y'all? He's not going to care about Bible trivia. He's not going to get mad because you don't know what king did what. No, he's coming back to judge you according to what the law has been narrowed down to, which was love the Most High, love your neighbor as yourself. Not love yourself, love your neighbor as yourself. We all pretty much know how to love ourselves, right? We all know how to be selfish given that scenario, right? The two laws are selfless. We're not included in those two laws. It's all a giving out. It's all about what exudes from us toward the Most High and our neighbor. Tell me that ain't charity. Tell me that's not this chapter right here that we're reading, family. Praise a higher, right? Con. Verse 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, how can I bestow all my goods to feed the poor and be counted as to not have no charity? Yikes. How? How is that possible? And though I give my body to be burned, oh, I put my body through all kind of stuff. That still ain't charity? Oh, I was showing at the church early and leaving late. I had a towel wrapped around my neck. And you couldn't spill a drop of nothing without me there sliding on my knees like I'm playing baseball to wipe up the drop you just spilled, right? That's giving your whole body that's giving your body to be burned. Walk on me. You the first one with your hand raised. Let me jump in there. I got it. Do it, right? Oh, somebody got to drive to Tennessee. Oh, jump in my car, right? I gave my body to, if you give your body to be burned, right? But why were you doing that? Did you do that of a hole needing to be filled? Or did you do that for another reason? Why did you bestow all your goods to feed the poor? Why did you give your body to be burned? Why did you do that? Right? And that's what's going to determine if you have charity. And charity is going to determine if what? It profiteth me nothing. If it does you any good, that's going to depend on if you did it with a charitable heart. If you're expecting anything, it's not charity. So what are we willing to give and never see it again, right? Because that's what this world is. You might not see it. It might just get you into the kingdom. That's it. It's the only purpose for it. It's for you to die and wake up in a pleasant place instead of in a pit, in a fire chamber, right? Yes. Verse 4, charity suffers long. It suffers long, y'all. You don't think you could suffer long? Pick up this charity and watch. And watch what it does automatically. This ain't something that you got to grow into. When it's for the sake of charity and you understand that, and you understand why you doing that, it means nothing. You could do it as long as it takes. Long suffering. And it's kind, and you'll be kind. You'll be kind while you're suffering long, right? It's some people that suffering long, but they ruining it with their attitude, right? It's like, oh, go ahead, stop suffering already. Go ahead, right? You flunked this. Go ahead. You might as well. I'd rather you not do this, just so you could be quiet, right? Charity envy, if not, it ain't jealous of nobody. It wants everybody to shine. It sees you shining and it smiles from the bottom of its heart, right? And that's how I am. I love to see y'all shining, right? I love seeing y'all doing something that's worthy, right? Of somebody to say, man, praise the Most High, right? Praise the Most High, because it's all for Him. None of it is for us, it's for our Father, right? Can't be like that. And that's why I couldn't understand. I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong? I'm Brother Browns. I'm singing to the nation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why is anybody, got a sour taste in their mouth at me for? You know? Could it have been envy? Could it have been the opposite of kindness? Was I causing somebody to long suffer? Right? You gotta look at, you know, you gotta look at this and you gotta wonder, but all my questions are answered now. I know now why. Right? I wasn't even being seen as being on the same team. I wasn't on the same team. But you know what? You know what's for sure? I am on Christ's team. No doubt about it. So if somebody got a problem with me, who they got a problem with? Boy, boy, boy. Charity runneth not itself. It's not about itself, right? It's a precept to say Christ runneth not himself. And if we're following him, that's why it's in our golden chapter. Because we ain't supposed to vaunt ourselves either. It vaunteth not itself, it's not puffed up. It's not full of pride. You don't do nothing to it when you do something to it. No, you do everything to Christ. Yeah, I know you just did that thing to me, but let me beg you to get right with Christ. Not me. It's Christ you better get right with. Right? 5, does not behave itself unseemly, deplorable, right? A disgusting way, right? Oh, it's bad. And you tell them, hey, it's bad. Look around. Look how everybody looking at us. I don't give a what. That's how they're going to respond to you. And then they're going to go even further, right? That's behaving itself unseemly, right? It's going to embarrass the whole clique, right? Seeketh not her own, right? It's seeking, but it's not seeking for itself, right? Why does it say her own? Because you're in the spirit. That's why I say her own, because you're in those 9 fruits, right? Of wisdom, which is the Holy Spirit. And that's why it's saying seeketh not her own. Is not easily provoked. It's going to take a lot to provoke it. Why? Because it thinks no evil. It's not thinking what you thinking. That's why it's hard. That's why you feel like you're going through a lot to get it to fight with you. Because it's not thinking the evil that you're thinking. It's not where you are. It hasn't arrived there yet, right? You're there by yourself. You're in a hostile state by yourself. You're in that evil, you got that evil eye going on by yourself. It don't have no evil eye towards you. It's still childlike, right? It's still ready to forgive and go play in the dirt, right? It's not tripping off of what you tripping off of. I know how that feels, you know. It would rather be doing something else. It ain't thinking what you thinking. It ain't on the evil that you're on. Verse 6, rejoice in iniquity. Sin that you already know is wrong, right? Sin that you already know is wrong, but you're going to do it anyway. It don't rejoice in that, right? Because when you read all of this 5 and back, you're going to try to suck punk. And then you're going to be surprised when you breaking this law that you know you shouldn't be breaking. And you have a clear understanding that you're breaking it and you're going to do it anyway. That's iniquity. It's it's going to show some resistance in that situation. And you're going to be shocked because it thinketh no evil. And you're going to, you're going to come to terms with that. But then guess what? You playing with iniquity. And then, but guess what? It rejoices in. It rejoices in the truth, right? And sometimes the truth cuts it, but it's willing to be cut by the truth, right? It loves the truth that much. It'll never side with the lie. I ain't siding with no lie. And I saw that this year. I seen a lot of people side with a lie, and it made me real sad because it was like, man, what was everything worth? What was everything for? Right? And that was a serious turning point in our warship. People don't know what they chose up on. They don't know. They have no idea what they did, right? In that moment, you know, this was a cold year, y'all. 2025, woo! This was a cold one, right? Thrashed, right? Brother Bronze went under the bus, right? But guess what? It's okay, because 7, I bear all things. Charity bears all things, right? It's willing to go through that. That's okay. I'll go through it 1,000 more times, right? I'm not the least bit bugged or bothered by it. Oh, I'm so all right, y'all. It wasn't nothing. Let's do it again, right? Let's do it again, right? Because I bear all things. That means I put everything on my back and I carry it. That's to bear it, right? Another way to bear it is to get naked. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to try to cover nothing up. Ask me. Ask me anything, right? I don't care how much you feel like you don't have the right to ask me whatever question you may have. I'm going to bear it. That's going to come out. Con? It's, the truth going to come out. Believe it for all things. Charity believes all things, right? It could be one way, it could be another way. Whichever way it is, it's cool. It's cool with me, right? Possibly, possibly, you know, whatever the outcome is, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to eat that, right? Hoping for all things. At the same time, I'm not without hope. Yeah. Though I'll do it, I hope things work out. They say hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Believe it for all things is preparing for the worst, right? And endurance ain't none of it gonna break me. You will not see my knees give out, right? I may slow down, I'm gonna keep pushing, right? I'm not gonna break down. Going to the finish line, right? We're gonna celebrate at the finish line. Con, endureth all things. 8, charity never fails. That hole will always be filled. Your charity is going to fill that hole. That hole that I was telling you that you have, all of the substance, right? All of the substance to fill the gaps that need to be filled. You have them, right? It ain't always a dollar amount. But if you don't have money, then that other stuff is your job. The courteousness, the kindness, okay? And charity will always do that. It's never going to fail. It's always going to do the purpose, right? That it's being that it's being called to do. Right? It's going to work. If somebody is hungry and you feed them, charity has succeeded, not failed. It'll always serve its purpose. But whether there be prophecies, right? Back to the guy flipping the precepts, they shall fail. That's why it said that. That's why it said that back there, because them prophecies, they're going to fail, right? What is prophecy worth after it happens? It's null and void. Oh, I was saying that before it happened. So what? It happened. Now everybody's saying it. And now we can't distinct them from you. Everybody's saying they seen it. Right? It's worthless. That's when that's when prophecy is going to fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. When do the tongues cease? When you go in that realm that I went into, we wasn't talking, y'all. We didn't have a tongue, right? And we all had identical knowledge. We all knew the same thing in that realm. I couldn't teach anybody nothing there, and they couldn't teach me, even though I just showed up. We all had identical knowledge, right? Whether there be tongues. Tongue is no more good, right? That's the profound quiet, ain't it? They shall cease. That's when them tongues cease. Ain't no good. Who cares? If you knew how to speak every language, all 70 of them that the Most High split in Genesis 11. So what? It don't care if you, it don't matter if you knew how to speak all 70 of them languages. So they don't mean nothing at this point, right? Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. How? Because our knowledge was identical. We all knew. Knowing everything was part of stepping into that realm. I brought a lot of that back to earth with me, fam. Right? Pieces and parts. And we prophesy in part. So we can only prophesy what we know. So when we open up our mouth to speak, we're going to be speaking those parts that we know. But what about those parts we don't know? Right? 10. But when that which is perfect is come, what is perfect? We have it, y'all. It's in the earth. It's this chapter, right? It's not a coincidence that it's saying this in this chapter. You have it, saith the Most High, right? But when that which is perfect is come, that's this right here. Then that which is in part shall be done away. Now you can take all of them separate little pieces and parts of the stuff that you have, and you can just do away with that. Because now you have the full whole. And we just seen it happen again just now. Right? We just seen it happen again with the first chapter of Proverbs. It just did it to us again, like it does every time we read a whole chapter. It brings us right back here. Right? Us who been here, tell the people who ain't been here that I'm not lying, right? Verse 11, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. What's childish? Everything that ain't them 9 fruits. Because look at what all of those other things outside of them 9 fruits put you through. Your own scars should be a testimony to you. Whenever we think we slick, it may work sometimes, but man, you're gonna get to that day where that lets you down horribly. Everything outside of them 9 fruits has the danger to do that to you any second. And that's childish. And when you're an adult, you secure things so that stuff like that don't happen. So when you come here and you put away them childish things, that's you putting away everything outside of them 9 fruits, y'all. And you're safe. You're safe once you do that. Even if they kill you, you're safe. Right? You're not going to feel that bullet, and then love is going to come and get you. Right? And love feels good when it comes and it takes you in it. Ask me how I know. Right? But that's you putting away them childish things, fam. 12. For now we see through a glass darkly. We can't hardly see. We're in the dark. Right? The glass is dark. It's a dark glass, but if you study it long enough, what happens? But then face to face, oh, I see my face. Right? When you first looked at it, I don't know, that looked like my hair. Is that my hair? You touching your hair. Oh, it's like, yeah, that is my hair. And you see something, but you can't see your face. Is that the shape of my head? Yeah, that is, right? You wiggle your fingers and the fingers in the glass wiggle too. Oh, yeah, my fingers are wiggling. And then all of a sudden, then face to face, boom, like, oh, that's my whole face, right? Oh, I see myself so clear, right? What is that? That's when hypocrisy goes out the window, fam. That's when you see yourself for what you are, for who you are, and all of that, right? Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. Now you can see yourself for what you really is. When the Most High was looking at you, when your neighbor was looking at you, when your kids was looking at you, when your wife or husband was looking at you, when strangers was looking at you. Now you see what they were seeing. And you know what that is? Partly that's being out of body, right? That's being out of body, fam. You looking at yourself. You're outside of yourself looking at yourself. Right? And that's a way to do that. That's a way that happens. But it can also happen in the spirit without you going anywhere, right? Without you having a near death experience at all. That can happen in the spirit when you see yourself, right? I've had it both ways. I've had it both of those ways, right? Now, 13, and now abide faith, hope, charity. Nothing is more important than that right now. In this earth, faith, hope, charity, y'all. Faith, what is that? Your level of belief in the Most High. That's your faith, right? The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That's your faith. If you don't think the Father is up there on the throne looking down at you, you're not gonna have no faith. I'll tell you that right now. You're not gonna stop doing anything that you do, because your pleasure is gonna be bigger than your thought of the Most High. I ain't giving nothing up. I ain't giving up. I ain't giving up what I want to do. For what? For some man that might be up there or might not. Right? That's a lack of faith, fam. The more you believe in he's up there, the more things you're gonna be able to do in this earth right now before you see him. Right? So we got to give all. We got to get at 144%. We got to give it all. Con, that's your faith. What is hope? All you going to have when nothing works out, when everything crashes. What is going to pull you back up to your knees again? Because you was on your back, right? Oh, let me get on my knees. That's prayer, right? But when you flat on your back, what's going to get you hope? Hope. Let me it doesn't like that conversation. It don't like that we was talking about that. It tried to shut off on me. Right? Let's get you back on the screen. Yeah, it didn't like that we was talking about that. It don't like how that was going. Yeah, let's hurry up and get YouTube. All right, let's hurry up and get off of here. Right? But that's what hope is. All you're gonna have sometimes. Your only bounce back is gonna be because you had hope when you didn't have nothing else. You had hope. And last is charity. Charity is what you do selflessly for another. And guess what? These three. But the greatest of these is charity. That charity, what you do selflessly for another, is more important than faith and hope. Faith and hope. Why? Because when you don't need faith anymore when the Most High is in front of you, right? When the Most High in Christ, when you could look across the atmosphere and say, yeah, that's the Most High in Christ over there. See, they're over there chilling over there. Let me go over there and mess with the Most High in Christ, right? And you run up on them, hey, pop, hey, brother, you know, and you engage with them and get goofy with your dad and your brother, right? Faith ain't worth nothing. You don't need faith no more. Faith is gone. Faith is a thing of the earth, right? Hope. What do you need to hope? And we're in the sapphire. I felt that, fam. I felt no reason to have any. This is it. This is it. But guess what? Guess where charity was? The ward, family. That's the atmosphere that I drifted into. That's the realm that I drifted into. And I didn't ever want to leave again. Right? I was set. I didn't need anything else. Whatever came, all praises, right? But I knew I was going to be all right, no matter what came or where we went, right? Charity, fam. Charity is so important in the invisible spiritual world, y'all. It's everything. It got us here. We're only alive right now and looking at this earth because somebody wanted to do us a favor. Your life is charity. You see what I'm saying? The fact that you ever tasted water was charity. The fact that you popped out of somebody gave you that, right? And I'm done. I'm done for tonight. On that note, y'all, I love y'all, right? And I extend my charity to you, whatever I can do, right? And this is what I'm trying to do. If you feel the same way, make yourself known, make yourself seen, right? If you want to help or if you need help, we all need to be connected and filling those holes, right? Sewing up those damages that each and each other has, right? That's what Christ is about. That's what this walk is about. That's what's making the Father look down into this earth out of that heaven and not bless us because we ain't blessing each other with what we have. So he's like, why should I? You know what I mean? So I'm here making that known. And that's coming from somebody who I don't need anything. I don't need nothing, right? The things that I want to do, I have the means to do, and I'm doing it, right? This is what Christ is about. This is what this walk is about. And everybody is playing games. How everybody so righteous and crazy about Christ got the means to fix them. That's a joke. That we can get serious in this earth and we can start making the Most High in Christ in the heavens smile. Good night. I love y'all, each every one of y'all. All praises to the Most High, whose name is Ahia. Got a son named Yasha. Yasha got a mama named Wawak Kwadash the Kakama Waf. Right? Glory. Glory be unto they. Right? This is September 16th. On a Tuesday, we're going to shut this down. I pray y'all have a blessed night. And till we meet again, Shalom. Right? Let's go out with some music. Huh? Go out with some music tonight. Go out with some music tonight.